So the Philadelphia 76ers take down the Cavs in Cleveland. Joel Embiid goes off for a monstrous performance, and the Sixers have officially clinched a playoff spot. We will talk about it all. Let's go. Perfect. What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome on into Philly Take with RB. Number one hotspot for Sixers coverage 24/7. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to ring the bell so you don't miss any of the videos or live streams. Obviously, we didn't go live today. We'll be taking a few of the next games off, but we'll probably do a few this week as we prepare for the playoffs. It's going to be crazy. And yes, we can officially say the Sixers are in the playoffs. The game just concluded a few seconds ago, and that is right. The Sixers get the W, 112-108 in Cleveland. They erase a 12-point deficit. Joel Embiid, man. Joel Embiid, man. I was complaining early on, about his decision to play this game because it came out this morning that he had ankle soreness. Obviously, the Sixers set all kinds of records yesterday, putting up 144 points in the afternoon against the Hornets. It was a back-to-back. We also have a back-to-back next week. Doc Rivers said he originally had a plan for these guys to rest. Who knows if they're going to rest? Because after the comments yesterday that Doc Rivers made post-game saying that he was kind of nudging Embiid to score more because he wants him to win the scoring title. He wants him to try to win the MVP, which I don't know if that's kind of correct for a coach to be saying those kinds of things. But Joel Embiid even responded to Doc Rivers yesterday by apparently telling him, if it comes to me naturally, if I need to go out and score, I will. And I think that showed, a lot of leadership and maturity from a guy like Joel Embiid. But nonetheless, he's playing with a sore ankle tonight. He comes out and he didn't even look too fresh early on, and he just absolutely explodes. And once again, not only propels his scoring title chances with LeBron James not playing today and Giannis going for 28 against the Bucks, but, this was a huge game for his MVP case. And as you can see, it is official. Like I said, the Sixers clinch a playoff spot. They move up with the Bucks loss. They're now tied for third, 2 games out of the 1 seed. It's good, though, right? It's good seeing the Sixers. They have now clinched their 5th consecutive playoff appearance. And this game, man, We're just going to talk about it. It's very simple. It's very simple why we won this game. I've said it about 4 times already. Joel Embiid. It's hard to look at a team in this league. And again, there have been guys who have had great seasons. Giannis, Jokic, Tatum, Booker. No disrespect to any of those guys. But this was a pure example. This was a classic game, especially with a guy like James Harden struggling and Maxey struggling and Tobias struggling. Everybody struggled. The only reason we won this game was because of Joel Embiid. Now, let's be fair. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who are fighting for playoff position, trying to get to a good seed, they did not have their 2 big men, right? They did not have Evan Mobley or Jared Allen. So this is a game that the Sixers should win. But then again, it kind of takes me back to earlier this season, before we had a guy like James Harden. And these are the types of games that nobody seems to remember in the media, right? These are the types of games we were watching every single night where Joel Embiid had to be a monster to win the game. He goes for 44 points, 12 for 26 from the field, 3 for 6 from deep, 17 for 20 from the line. There were people who, are always going to complain about Joel Embiid. Fact of the matter is, you can't stop him. The dude's out there on a bummed ankle today. Moses Brown played hard. He tried his best. Fact of the matter is, you have nobody that can stop Joel Embiid. He is absolutely insane. He also contributed 17 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 5 blocks. Had about 3 monster blocks in a row early on in the game. And Joel Embiid's the reason we won this game. Everybody else did not play up to par. There were guys that had okay games, but Joel Embiid is that good. He is that good. In fact, before we talk about the rest of the guys, which there's not much to say about tonight, and, this game shouldn't have been close. It was very gritty. And honestly, I kind of felt it was going to be like this, which is why I wanted to rest our players traveling after going for a record-breaking performance yesterday. But Doc elected to go with our guys. Some of them didn't look as pure and fresh. And Joel realized that early on, and he was struggling. I think he started off 1 or 2 for 6. And then he had to come out and just go off, man. But let's read a couple great Embiid stats from tonight because they're just mind-boggling every single time, man. First and foremost, Joel Embiid ties Wilt Chamberlain for the most 30-point games in franchise history, 5th on the list, by the way, at 111, behind Julius Erving, Hal Greer, Charles Barkley, and Allen Iverson by a huge gap. Who knows if Embiid can ever get there, but Embiid does tie Wilt for 5th all-time. Also, another great stat, Joel Embiid's 27th game this year with at least 30 and 10 rebounds. That is tied with Giannis for most games in the NBA with that stat line. And the only Sixers player with more ever in a season is Wilt and Embiid himself at 28. So he's one behind his own record there. And then the best stat of them all, how about this? Joel Embiid, shout out to Sixers stats, by the way. Joel Embiid with his league-leading 11th game with at least 40 points and 10 rebounds. 11 games with 40 and 10 this season. By the way, he did break his own record for most games played in a season at 65 today. So 65 games, most ever in a season for Embiid, trying to stay healthy, and 11 games out of those with 40 and 10. Most by an NBA player in a season since Russell Westbrook had 12 in the 2016-17 season. Just incredible, man. Just incredible. We could talk about late game, right? Joel Embiid hitting shot after shot, getting to the line, being aggressive, just honestly taking the ball and putting the team on his back. And then the Sixers are fighting down the stretch. They're racing the lead. They're going back and forth. Lowry Markkanen can't seem to miss a shot. Rajon Rondo can apparently hit any three he wants against the Sixers. These guys are just knocking down shots. Thought the Sixers held Garland tonight to a pretty good game they had the last couple times we played them. And by the way, the Sixers, I believe, did sweep the Cavs on the season. They've now swept the Cavs and the Bulls this season. 2 potential first-round matchups, or at least second-round matchups for the Sixers. But yeah, Embiid was incredible, and, again, just willed his way through. And I know Jokic had a good game today, but kind of just showed why he's still in the MVP conversation. And, I mean, there's just nothing you can take away from Joel Embiid. He's this great. Seems like a lot of players are on cruise control, and Embiid said it yesterday, we can't have these games where we play really bad and then we come out and play good. Like, we need to play good every night. And again, he showed his consistency even on a bad ankle. I did not want to play him. There was a play where Tobias gets hit in the face, Harden grabbing his leg. I'm like, come on, man, we got to rest these guys. Maybe we'll rest the last few games, but now I don't know. It seems like Doc Rivers is intent on Embiid trying to win the scoring title, which is, it's cool and everything, but we need to be healthy come playoff time. So we'll see what happens. But Embiid was just incredible. And that was why we won this game. And then late, the last inbounds play. First off, there were a couple iffy plays. I know Harden blew by Markkanen, which was nice. I did not like the Harden ISO in crunch time. James Harden did not look good at all. He went 4 for 13. Did have 21 points because of the free throws and somehow amounted to a triple-double, which shows that he's contributing in other areas, right? Even when you're not scoring the ball, you can still contribute in other areas. 10 rebounds and 10 assists. And again, he looks a little bit out of order, and hopefully we can get him some rest. And he did play 41 minutes, which is a lot on the second of a back-to-back, even though the Sixers won both games. Tobias looked out of place today, 4 for 14. Maxey, 4 for 11. Thibault had a couple buckets, but Thibault coming up at the end of the game with the final play, the thigh bully, running down the half court and stealing it, pushes it up to Toby for the winning slam, and the Sixers got it done. Embiid was pumped, man. He was throwing his fists around. There were a lot of interesting calls in this game, a lot of back and forth, but Embiid knew his matchup, and he knew he could take advantage of it. Niang had 8 off the bench. DeAndre Jordan had 6 points and 4 rebounds in 10 minutes. Wasn't absolutely terrible. He's been looking pretty bad, but, DJ put together a couple good games. Can he be that guy in the playoffs? I don't know. He had a couple iffy moments tonight. Going to have to figure it out. And by the way, one last point I wanted to make. If you haven't been keeping up with what Charles Bassey has done in the G League, 37 points and 21 rebounds in his last game. And the game before that, I believe he had like 33, maybe 35. Bassey's been going off, but he won't get any run. Isaiah Joe won't get any run. These guys are not going to get any run, and it's pretty apparent. Maybe they'll play a little bit in the last couple games. But overall, the Sixers do get the W, and it's good to be in the playoffs for a 5th straight year. We could be a team that doesn't make the playoffs at all. We've definitely, felt that before, but it's good to get the job done against another Eastern team. Like I said, it's going to be a dogfight. It seems like teams aren't really worrying too much about the seeding, but the Sixers just need to keep winning games, and they need to ensure that their players are well rested. We got the Pacers a couple times, the Pistons again, and the Raptors, and then we are heading to the playoffs. Going to be interesting. Embiid trying to solidify his case for MVP and jump back into it. I do think he's right there at the top, and I think it's going to be an interesting race, but a lot of good players this year. And Embiid single-handedly won us this game tonight. What a brilliant performance, man. And like I said, there's been many performances this year where every single time it's something new that drops your jaw, right? Like, it's just, how does he do that, right? Step back, fade away threes tonight, out, from the corner. He had, but the best play of the night, he has like a touch pass, like punches it with his fist or taps it or whatever to Harden for a three. Like, it's just crazy, man. It is ridiculous, and we need to truly appreciate what Joel Embiid does on a basketball floor every single night for this team. Like, it's an honor to watch. It really is, and I can't wait to see, because I think he's going to crank it up to another level come playoff time, and I can't wait to see, man. But the Sixers get it done. They out-rebounded the Cavs, out-hustled them late in the game. Cavs had them on their heels all game, but the Sixers come back. Embiid steps up, we get it done, and we are headed to the playoffs. Those are all my thoughts. Give me all yours down below. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.